Assalamu alaikum class, this is your course in charge Hirafsha, and again I am here with the new topic brain and its parts, and our object is to study the parts of the human brain. This is our last topic to study for the system of the body, and we have already studied the digestive system of the body in our previous presentation. Now I'm going to start the brain and its parts, which is the part of the central nervous system. So object is to study the parts of the human brain. Now comes to the introduction of the brain. What is brain? Brain is an amazing structure or organ that is weigh about 3 pounds, and it controls all the functions of the body, and it interprets the information from outside world, and it is responsible for the intelligence, creativity, emotions, and memory of many things or other many things that are governed by the brain. The brain is protected within the skull and or the cranium, and the brain controls our thoughts, memory, speech, movement of the arms, legs, and it also performs the functions of many organs within our body. And this is a part of the central nervous system, and the central nervous system is basically composed of the brain and the spinal cord, and the next is the peripheral nervous system or PNS, which is composed of the spinal nerves and that branch from the spinal cord, and the cranial nerves that branch from the brain. The brain has 3 parts. Number 1 is the cerebrum, number 2 cerebellum, and number 3 is brainstem. Cerebrum is the largest part of the brain, and it is composed of the right and the left hemisphere. It performs higher functions like interpreting touch. It interprets touch, vision, hearing, as well as speech, reasoning, emotions, learning, and fine control of the movement. And the cerebellum, which is the second largest part of the brain, it sits below the posterior lobe or the occipital lobe of the cerebrum and behind the brainstem, and it is a part of the hindbrain. And its function is to coordinate the muscle movements and maintain the posture of the body and balance of the body. And then the brainstem, which acts as a relay center for connecting the cerebrum and cerebellum to the spinal cord, and it performs many autonomic functions such as breathing, heart rate, body temperature, wake up and sleep cycles, and the digestion, sneezing, coughing, vomiting, and swallowing. So these are the parts of the brain: cerebrum, cerebellum, and brainstem. I am starting with the detailed discussion of the cerebrum. Cerebrum is divided into 2 halves, the right and the left hemisphere, and they are joined by a bundle of fibers called the corpus callosum. Here you can see the corpus callosum, and it is divided into 2 hemispheres, left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. The corpus callosum transmits the messages from one side to the other side, and each hemisphere controls the opposite side of the body. This left side controls the right side of the body, and the right side controls the left side of the body. The lobes of the brain, cerebral hemisphere, have distinct fissures, and which is divided into which divide the brain into 4 lobes. Each hemisphere has 4 lobes: frontal lobe, temporal lobe, parietal lobe, and occipital lobe. Here you can see the frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, and this is the temporal lobe, the green part. The frontal lobe of the brain is located deep to the frontal bone of the skull here, and it plays an integral role in the personality of the person or the behavior and emotions of the person. His or her judgment, planning, problem solving skills, and speaking and writing skills, which are controlled by the Broca area, and body movement, which is controlled by this motor strip of the frontal lobe, and intelligence, concentration, and self-awareness of the person is controlled by the frontal lobe. Then the parietal lobe of the brain is located deep to the parietal bone of the skull, and it helps to interpret the languages and words, and it gives the sense of touch, pain, and temperature from the sensory strip here, and it interprets the signals from vision, hearing, motor, sensory, and memory, and sensory signals, motor signals, and helps to interpret the memory, and it also helps for the visual perception. And then occipital lobe. The occipital lobe of the brain is located deep to the occipital bone of the skull, and its primary function is to interpret the vision, basically the color, light, and the movement. And the temporal lobe is located on the sides of the brain deep to the temporal bones of the skull, and it helps in understanding the languages, specifically this Wernicke area, and it helps to interpret the memory and hearing and sequencing and organization. What is cerebral cortex? The surface of the cerebrum is called the cerebral cortex or the cortex, and it has a folded appearance with hills and valleys. The cortex contains 16 billion neurons. The cerebellum has 70 billion. So total is 86 billion neurons that are arranged in a specific layer. And the nerve cell bodies color the cortex gray brown, giving its name gray matter. The cerebral cortex has two matter, gray matter, in which the nerve cell bodies give its a colory appearance, which is of gray brown color, so it is known as the gray matter. And beneath the cortex are the long nerve fibers or the axons that connects the brain area to each other, and this area of the long nerve fibers are known as the white matter. Here you can see it. This is the gray matter, as the cell bodies give it gray brown appearance, so it is known as gray matter. And this is the white matter, in which the axon helps to connect the other parts of the brain. And the cortex contain neurons, gray matter here, which are interconnected to other parts of the brain by axon, which is known as the white matter. And the cortex has the folded appearance. Each fold is called a gyrus. Each fold is known as the gyrus, and the valley or the groove between the folds is known as the sulcus. Now comes to the cerebellum, which is the second largest part of the brain. Like the cerebrum, the cerebellum has left and right hemispheres. The middle region is known as the vermis, which connects them, and within the interior tissue rises a central white stem known as the arbor vitae, because it spread branches and sub-branches through the hemispheres. The primary function of the cerebellum is to maintain the posture and balance of the body. When we jump to the side, reach forward, or turn suddenly, It subconsciously evaluates each movement. The cerebellum then sends signals to the cerebrum indicating the muscle movement that will adjust our position to keep us steady. Now comes to the cerebellum. Here you can see it. This is the anterior lobe of the cerebellum and this is the posterior lobe of the cerebellum. These are the arbor vitae. It helps to spread the branches over the cerebellum, and this is the middle area, that is the vermis, which connects these two hemispheres or lobes of the cerebellum. Third is the brain stem. The brain stem connects the spinal cord to the higher thinking centers of the brain, and it consists of the three structures which are the medulla oblongata, the pons and the midbrain. The medulla oblongata is continuous with the spinal cord and connects to the pons above. And both the medulla and the pons are considered the part of the hindbrain. And then comes the midbrain or the mesencephalon, which connects the pons to the diencephalon and the forebrain. Beside relaying sensory and the motor signals, the structure of the brain stem direct involuntary functions. The pons helps to control the breathing rhythms, and the medulla handles the respiration, digestion and the circulation and reflexes such as the swallowing, coughing and sneezing. And the midbrain contributes to the motor control of the body, vision and hearing, as well as vision and hearing related reflexes. Here you can see these are the cerebral hemispheres, and this is the cerebellum. This is the purple part is the diencephalon, and this is the brain stem, which consists of the medulla oblongata, which connects to the spinal cord, and above it connects to the pons, and this is the midbrain, which connects the diencephalon and the forebrain. The diencephalon is a region of the forebrain connected to both the midbrain, and which is the part of the midbrain is the part of the brain stem, and it is also the region of the cerebrum. So the thalamus forms most of the diencephalon, and it consists of two symmetrical egg-shaped masses with neurons that radiate out through the cerebral cortex. Sensory data floods into the thalamus from the brain stem, and along with the emotional, visceral and other information from different areas of the brain. The thalamus relays these messages to the appropriate areas of the cerebral cortex, or the thalamus transfers these messages to the appropriate areas of the cerebral cortex, and it determines which signal require the conscious awareness and which should be available for learning and memory. So this diencephalon helps to connect the or to transfer the sensory messages for the learning and memory purposes. So this is all about the brain and its part. If you have any questions regarding this topic, you can ask me anytime. Good luck for your future. Thank you so much.